Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a vlog style sort of video. I'm going to take you along with me to Spotlight and we're going to grab some supplies to do an exciting DIY today. We're going to be making a macrame plant hanger thing. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Alright, let's go. I was getting distracted by all the cushions. So soft. This looks like a bath mat. Wondering if I should do like a hanging plant. Kind of cute. Alright, so I'm going well so far. I found a plant sort of thing. Got a few rings to help us with the structure of the actual thing. I just have to find the Macrame string, which isn't where it used to be. There's been a little change of plans. They ran out of the Macrame string, so now I'm going to have to try and do it with this hemp cord. So hopefully that turns out alright. Which do I get? Do I get this one? Or do I get this one? Because it's easier having the pot already, because then I don't have to find something to put this in. Which one? I love plants. Oh, look at all this. Look. I think 30% off. 30%. But this is a cute pot. Would it be too small though? It's very lightweight though, which is good. It's what you want when you're hanging something from the ceiling. Look how pretty this ornament is. So pretty. I don't need that. I don't need that. Ooh, this matches my stuff at home. And it's 50% off. No, you don't need it. Or you could just cheat and then buy this. Why not? It's only $9. So this is what I've ended up with. I've got the cute little pot. And I've got this fern thing, which I think will look really cool because it all splays out. Then I've got my hemp cord, which hopefully looks okay. I'm sure it will. I've got these little rings. I'm going to just put one of these rings at the top of the hanging thing just to hook on my ceiling, and then I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to leave this because I was planning on having it here and then the pot just sits inside of it, but I think I'm just going to build the hanger around the pot. So we'll try that. We'll give that a go. Success! Okay, so here are all the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need a pot, any size pot. You can just make it around the size of it. You're going to need some cord of some sort. I've just got the hemp cord, but you can use macrame string or something that's similar to that. And it's 50 meters. You'll also need some sort of metal or any sort of ring just to attach it to the hook at the very top. Just opted for a fake one just because it's easy to take care of, and it's also very lightweight because it doesn't require soil. You'll also need a ruler just to measure out your string, and also a pair of scissors, of course. Now I'm basing this DIY off a picture I saw on Pinterest, so I'm just sort of going to be copying that one, seeing what I can do, and just sort of making it up as I go. So I'm going to start by unraveling all of the string. Alright, so once you've untied it, just find the end. Also, you don't have to untie the whole thing. I just find it a lot easier because then you can see what you're working with, and you have to unravel it all anyway because we're going to be using the whole thing. Oh, hi Coda. My dog's here to join the video. Kaya, what's this? What's this? Basically, we're going to be cutting this string into 8 different pieces because we need 16 altogether. But what we'll be doing is we'll be taking our metal ring and we'll be putting all of the cut pieces, all of the 8 different pieces like this on the ring. So our 8 pieces will be cut to 6.25 meters. So I'll go ahead and do that now. I've just realized that using a measuring tape might be more handy because I didn't realize the pieces of string would be so long. So I've got my measuring tape. Now I'm just going to be pulling out 6.25 meters along the ground and then measuring out my first piece, which I will then use as a template for all of the rest of the 7 pieces. So I laid out my measuring tape on the floor, which you can't see right now, but I'm just going to take the string over and measure out all of the pieces. If your measuring tape isn't quite long enough, you can just do laps with it. So you just do one length of 3 meters and then double that over and then double a little bit more just to reach 6.25 meters. And 6.25 meters is also equivalent to 246 inches. So remember that you only have to cut the first string using the measuring tape, and then the second one you can just use against the first one just to copy it and find the end and then cut that too. So I ended up cutting mine to about 6 and a little bit meters each, just so that I'd have a little bit of extra string to work with if I needed it, and also at the end I might do it around the ring just to hide it, so I'll just sort of tie knots around there. But we will see how we go because this is a very relaxed tutorial. So now that we've got all of our 8 pieces of string cut, I'm going to loop them through the ring. Alright, so we're going to line up all of the ends and just pull it through. I'm going to pull all of the string through to the halfway mark. So once you've found the very middle of the massive lengths of string, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to keep my hand here, so holding the very middle, I'm going to mark that with my hand and I'm going to take off the ring again. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor it on by still holding the very middle, and what you're going to do is you're going to pull it through so the loop is sitting there, and we're going to take all of the length of string through the middle of the loop that we just made. Just keep playing with the knot until you are happy with it. So you can tuck bits under, you can pull it tighter, just until you like it. So we're going to be splitting this into groups of 4. So I'm going to teach you how to do the square macrame knot. So we're going to start off with this strand here. So we've got 4 strings. So what you're going to want to do is take the 2 that fall most naturally in the middle from the knot above. So those will be our middle pieces. And what we're going to do is with the outer pieces, if you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to create a 4 shape across the center 2. Now these 2 won't move at all. They will sort of be there just for support or just, you know, for the structure of the knot. So this one, so I'm bringing the left strand across the middle 2. Now the right strand of those 4 strings is going to come, it's going to go over the string that just came across, and it's going to go under all of this. So basically you want to put the end of this strand here, you want to put the end of it underneath it all and up through this loop here. So once you've found the end, lift it up and pass it through here. Now it does help to have this anchored down if at all possible, just so that it's more sturdy to work with and you can pull on the knots without worrying about everything else shifting around. So I'm just going to pull that tight. And that is what our first knot looks like. So we'll keep these 2 in the middle they will remain in the middle. And now this time it is the right strand of these 4 strands that will make the 4 shape. So it goes like that. And now the left strand goes on top of this one, and then again comes back diagonally under and up through this loop here. So just pull that the whole way through, tighten it, and make sure that the middle to always stay flat, because that will ensure a flat knot. Alright, so we've got the start of that knot coming along. Now you just repeat. So again, the left goes over the middle, the right goes under and diagonally through the loop that the first string made. Just pull that the whole way through, and then tighten. So I'm just going to keep doing this knot. The right over the middle, the left diagonally under and through the loop. Just make sure that you are alternating between the left and the right, because that's what creates a flat knot. And that'll bring me to my next knot in just a minute. So I've just repeated this same knot, the same square knot, for about 15 centimeters. So that will make up the first portion of the hanging plant, and then we're going to do the same with the other strands, but first I'm going to show you the second type of knot we will be doing. The second type of knot is called the twist knot. So what I'm going to be doing is essentially the same thing, but instead of alternating left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. So we're just going to be going left to right the whole time, and it's going to create a cool little twist in the knot. Alright, so I've done as much of the twist knot as I wanted to. I've done about 11 centimeters. So that's going to form the middle section of the long strands. So I'm going to go back in and finish off this strand with more of these knots, and I'll probably do about another 15 centimeters with that one. So I've just finished off another 15 centimeters of the square knot, and I'll just give you an up close shot. So that's what it looks like, and then there's the twist knot. So this is what I've done so far. Now I'm just going to continue on and do the exact same thing as this one on the other three lengths that we're going to do. So I'll be back soon. So once your 4 rows are complete and they're all identical in length and you've got all of these sort of all lined up and everything, what you're going to be doing is taking these and splitting them in 2. So we'll do that for each one, basically because what we're going to be doing is taking half of each strand here, taking half and then creating a square knot just down here so that the pot can sit inside there. So I'll do that now. So keeping them at the same length. So we've got our 2 middle pieces here, and we're starting our knot, making sure that it's all equal so that it sits nicely. So we'll start the knot around here, just holding it down in place while everything is sorted out, like so. Now we're going to go over. Now we'll continue just a little bit on this one. So you want to do like 4 or 5 knots. So basically we are pretending that this whole thing is a circle now, because that is how it will be hanging, like this. So we are joining them up at the end. So now we'll move on to the next 2. So we'll work with this one and with half of the next one. So I'll continue on making these with the next lot, and then there's one more to go after. So now we can see it coming together nicely. What I did was I tightened these up because I realized that the length here was too large for the pot. So a good idea is to actually put the pot in as you're doing it or afterwards, just to test for size. And these will stretch down once it's hanging, really. So it will be more of a triangle shape. It doesn't have to fit too snug, but this is what I like. Now So it's done the whole way around. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to create another square knot right about here just to bring it back together before securing it at the bottom. So I'm going to go around and do that for each one again. So now that I've finished with the second square knot on the pot, what we're going to do is I'm going to actually put the plant in, because the pot actually has, you can see it kind of, it's got a hole down the bottom. So what I'm going to do is put this in to where I want it, because the next step I'm actually going to be knotting all of these together, and what I want to do is try and hide the stick. So I've just taken a bit of loose string and we're going to be doing a wrap knot with it. So it's about probably a meter and a bit long. And what we're going to do is gather up all of this to hide the stick, or the end of the fern. Make sure everything is in place. And then we're going to take this, you're going to hold that with one loose end up. And then we're going to loop this like that. And you're going to hold those together with the loop downwards. Next, without losing this little bit, we're going to actually wrap that long end of that loose bit of string around the whole lot. And try and push it quite close to the base of the pot. And then we'll just keep going, making sure each of them is nicely stacked. So I think I'll finish it off there. To finish it off, what you need to do is put the end of the piece of string that you're working with through the loop that you created. Pull that through. And next, this is why it's meant to be kept loose, is we're going to pull this string, and the loop is actually going to disappear up inside. Once you've pulled it up enough into the wrap knot, you can go ahead and chop the top of this loose piece, otherwise it just hangs there. So now that it's all anchored in here nicely and the pot is not going anywhere, all we're left to deal with is all of the string. Now in hindsight, I probably used too much string, but again, it depends on the size of your pot that you're using and the knots that you're doing, and also how long you actually want it to be hanging from the ceiling. So I just overcompensated because I didn't want to run out of string. So what you do with the rest of the string is up to you. Basically, you can either cut it off bluntly wherever you want, or you can do sort of jagged look, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to cut them at random lengths. Now that they're all cut, I'm just going to splay out the ends a little bit, just for a little bit of a more relaxed look. So I'm just pulling apart the strings. An optional thing that I mentioned earlier to do is to cover up the metal with a piece of string. So I'm just going to do that by tying it to one side and then wrapping it the whole way around and tying it to the other. I'm just going to tuck the loose ends into the knot we already made. So in doing this, it just gives it a much neater finish and just looks a lot more professional. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. Here is the plant hanger. It's all done, all good to go, ready to hang up. So let's go have a look at what it looks like. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!